Welcome back in, everybody, to the final game of the day. This is going to be it here between Team Spirit and Team Hydra. And both teams, I mean, Hydra has put on a great show looking through, and they can be proud of whatever the result is going to be. You know, they should be proud of what they've done today. But Team
What?
Spirit,
No participation trophies here. It's win or lose, Rob. No, no, no,
okay,
no,
fair
no,
enough, fair enough.
no, not being proud of anything. They are gunning for the victory here, Hydra. And to be honest, in both games 1 and 2, they have shown that they have what it takes. So, I mean, if Team Spirit make a slight mistake, if Hydra don't underestimate their enemies by picking a Storm into an AM, I think they actually have a shot.
Yeah, maybe just ban that AM straight out because it looked like that was a factor, right? The maybe another carry, the Storm Spirit gets the jumps on, they can find those kills with a setup from Happy, but with the counter spell coming through, there was nothing they can do. And up until that point where the anti-mage was online, Hydra were looking in control of that match.
It depends if you think you have an idea of how to play against it. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for something like a Faceless Void, third pick. They went for an SF. They definitely had potential to go for something like that, just to make sure that at any point in the game you're gonna have a lockdown for this hero in which he dies. So they thought they knew how to play against it, but that is just it. When a new hero hits the meta, I mean relatively new, but he wasn't played for a very long time, so people need some adjusting time to it, and then you don't really know how to approach the draft or the game against it.
Yeah, no, that is true. It might take some learning, readjusting to learn how to play it in the anti-mage game because it seems like other regions are playing it as well. So it is going to be one of those popular heroes that we will be seeing more and more. And Team Spirit Yatoro, there he had that hero down already. So Hydra, they might just be going back to the old guides. Oh, how do we deal with anti-mage? How is this going to be playing out, and how can we shut down this hero? But we see already that they've looked strong, and the ban's coming through now as well. They take out the Primal Beast once again. The Brood this time will be taken away from by Team Spirit. The Io does get taken out now as well. And Hydra, it's going to be the Undying, so it does leave this Rubik open here for Team Spirit if they want to pick it.
Last time they didn't, though. They went for the Clockwork, right? Clockwork was their opening pick for game number 1, where they could have gotten a Rubik, and Rubik got banned out in the second phase. So I'm not sure. Team Spirit, I'm guessing that they don't want to be continuing to constantly pick one hero at the start, even though they're so successful with it.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the Ench.
Oh, they didn't ban out the Beastmaster. That's why. If they had let it through, it probably would have been Enchantress Beastmaster for Hydra. They don't care. Cloud is like, yeah, oh no, Enchantress, what the hell am I gonna do? They just don't freaking care about this hero. Okay, Cloud, let's see if it's gonna be the same game for him now when he has a direct counter for his hero.
Yeah, true. I mean, probably thinking that maybe they get the magic damage to deal with the Ench in the middle of the fights, and then the Beastmaster can come in with the Thunderhide or the Black Dragon or whatever as well. And in the lane, the Beastmasters have been building into the axis more and more. So while I still do see him getting the balls to come out earlier on, I don't think the Beastmasters game at the minute lives and dies by how much impact the balls do have.
True, but this is the thing. Throughout Dota, there were like classic counters, and then Ice Rock adds Aghanim Scepters, Talents, Shards, and stuff like that to prevent it, so that you have ways of playing against your counters. When it comes to Beastmaster counters like the Enchantress, well, no, here I have a Shard that just makes you even more of a problem for me, called Little Friends, and then all of my units get taken away at some point and just smash the head of whoever you want them to smash. So I'm scared for the Beastmaster because, those 6 seconds of Little Friends, not only because of the damage, but the damage prevention is a big deal.
Yeah, and we did talk about the Shard, that we don't really see that often, but in a game like this, coming up against the Beastmaster, yeah, I would expect, maybe not early on, but I would expect the Ench to get that at some point in the game, just to be, again, another bit of wind-up against the Beastmaster.
Yeah, and you used to have to get close. Now it has been buffed up by 150 units in the mini patch that we got. So, it's even stronger than it used to be. And you also have a Morphling. Morphling laning against the Beastmaster usually has a pretty solid time, especially have a support that's going to be keeping him back. Once you get level 3, 4, it's where the Beastmaster can start to struggle CSing against you.
Yeah, and the Doom gets banned out, the Rubik's taken away here from Hydra. Meanwhile, Team Spirit, they ban out the anti-mage themselves. So not wanting that reflected back on them here, and yeah, Team Spirit just like, we've already picked them off in, you know, the carries on the board, and we don't want to deal with the anti-mage back up. So HYDRA not going to be able to pick this one up.
Yeah, I don't know how much I would like for HYDRA to
10
play the anti-mage
seconds
anyways.
remaining.
I'm a fan of their gameplay.
Yeah.
But anti-mage,
5 seconds
not only
remaining.
because of the player, but because of the entirety of the
Radiant
team.
team
I'm not sure
pick.
how confident they would feel at utilizing the hero, no matter
Team
how much
spirits, turn
it actually
to
deals
Crystal
well
Maiden.
with the Morphling. And it's gonna be a Crystal Maiden. Okay, that's an interesting one to me. This lineup of HYDRA, it means we are gonna run at you non-stop, right? If they slow down the game on Team Spirit, that's probably what they're gonna be gunning to go for. It is gonna be the bane of HYDRA's existence.
10 seconds
Can he
remaining.
pudge?
5 seconds remaining.
It's actually looking like a good one because there's a lot of heals on the side of Team Spirit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like the Crystal Maiden, you usually do see that when teams are looking to pick that pudge up.
Yeah, but usually it's Beast Master on the other side, and then you pick the Crystal Maiden Pudge just to counter it, or or something like a Brood Mother as well, right? And I doubt the Team Spirit are going to be going for a Lycan, let's say, and if they do, then I'm pretty confident that HYDRA will be going for the Pudge.
Yeah, we'll see here because they do have the final pick of this phase of the draft. Meanwhile, Team Spirit looking for their next two heroes. I wouldn't know what they want to pick up. Again, the Morphlin already been there. I mean, we've seen the odd, and I say the very odd. In fact, I think it's just been Nisha in Western Europe that's played the mid Morphlin. Most of the time, it is that carry. So no guesswork there, I don't think, from HYDRA where Team Spirit want to run this Morphlin. The Ench. Do you run that as the 5 with the Morphlin in the lane up against the Beastmaster? Yeah.
Probably you're gonna do exactly that. Team Spirits are thinking right now. This is good, right? If there was no Disruptor and there was Crystal Maiden, Beastmaster, you pick up a Tide Hunter here, right? It's amazing. But because there's a Disruptor, you're not sure. So now you're thinking where you want to take it. Doom would be great for them, but it has been banned out. So it is tough to actually come up with which hero you want on Collapse. And pretty much Mira's hero is gonna be reliant on Collapse's hero or Collapse's on Mira's. It doesn't really matter which way you take it. So these two picks for them definitely not an easy one to go for.
No, and like you say, they are burning through this reserve time. So we'll see.
Earth Shaker.
Okie
Radiant
dokie.
team pick.
Okay. So that's probably Laurel Snapfire, but might not be. It would be really cool. Yeah, there's the Pudge. It would be really cool if we see a Earthshaker 3. We've seen Desire in Western Europe playing a lot of Shaker, and actually he always looks amazing on that hero, Monaspa winning or losing. But I haven't seen Team Spirit play a
10
Shaker
seconds remaining.
I don't know, for a very long time here, Rob. So I'm not sure
5
what to expect,
seconds
where they're
remaining.
going to be playing it. I'm thinking it's position 4, but Mira
Radiant
Shaker
team
just
back.
doesn't ring a bell.
No. What would you 3 or 4? What would you want to be putting in the lane with the Earthshaker here? Because it will be coming up against the if it is the 4, 3 or 4, it will be coming up against the Pudge Crystal Maiden. So is there a hero that you like
10 seconds remaining.
support? You
Yeah,
you
I
want to
like
run
the
the
Snapfire.
so you don't think it's gonna be the Laurel
5
Snapfire,
seconds
just like
remaining.
an Earthshaker Snapfire offlane?
I mean, I think that Laurel is the one that wants to play it, but Mira is very well known for his Snapfire as well. And I mean, you did ask what do I want to put with the Shaker, considering that once you get frozen, you can easily get hooked. Cookie is one of the best ways to actually keep you safe from that.
Yeah, and I suppose being able to get the cookie into the enchant totem as well, it's a good opening to get on top of the Crystal Maiden and do the damage. So looking then for Team Spirit,
Team Spirits,
if
turn to
it is
ban.
going to be taken away from Lol, what would you want to put on this mid? Because the Zeus is gone now as well. What would you want to be playing on Lol? What would you want to be giving over to Lol here to help him out? I mean, they don't have the final pick either, so they are going to be picking blind. So is there anything you think that completes this lineup here for Spirit?
10 seconds remaining.
Spirits are good, but Crystal Maiden is the thing
5
that always
seconds
scares you
remaining.
if you're playing like a Storm or a Void Spirit, because the Frostbite is your biggest nemesis. So what else is there? Puck has been banned out. It's hard to say. It might be the Team Spirit decide to put the Snapfire in the middle just because they have nothing else to pick up for Laurel. But man, it would be so amazing if this was Mira Snapfire and Collapse Shaker, because a maxed out totem, or at least twice of it, it does not care about the Pudge flesh heap in the lane, and that'll be really cool to see a Pudge, a
Radiant team
naturally
back.
low armor hero, struggle in a lane against the Snapfire Shaker.
Yeah, I will. Okay, we'll see exactly what it's going to be. I mean, they've only got 3 seconds left on the reserve time, so Spirit really thinking through this, the ban as well as this next pick, this final pick here. HYDRA, they, again, it's a similar kind of
10
question coming out from
seconds
them,
remaining.
because it does look like the classic picks. You know, they've got everything apart
5
from the mid lane
seconds
here.
remaining.
And again, I don't think they're going to be putting something like the Pudge into the mid. So, HYDRA, what do you want to be putting more coming in through? The Invoker's been banned out here as well. Is there a hero that you're looking at for HYDRA that completes the draft, you know, that might go well in this mid lane, that maybe you do run something like the Dragon Knight that's a tower taker that can help the Beastmaster, you know, pull aggro away from either side? Or is there something like the OD, something like that goes in fighting?
A lot of it also relies on what Team Spirit pick.
Yeah.
Right? So
Team
overall, I like the
Spirit's
OD
turn
that
to
you
pick.
mentioned, right? Because that would actually be amazing against every single hero on the side of Team Spirit. Enchantress dies immediately to the hammer. These heroes as well, they don't really have that much mana to work with, and Morphling really does hate playing against the OD. But speaking of OD, it actually wouldn't be a
10
bad pick
seconds
for
remaining.
Spirit, wouldn't it? So I wouldn't mind them picking it up
Radiant
here.
team pick.
Let's go with
Go for
Pango.
it, Pango.
Is that
Okay.
a Pango in every single game today?
There? No, I think it was banned one time.
Or was it game number 1? Yeah, it got banned out in game number 1, didn't it?
Of this series?
Of this series. Of this
Oh, yeah,
series.
yeah, of this series, yeah. Yeah, of the previous one, it was definitely game number 1 of the previous series. And the Storm Spirit will be picked up by HYDRA. Well, they are not playing against the Crystal Maiden, are they? And this time around, Work is going to have a much better game, right? And it is going to be a Collapse Shaker. Man, I'm so happy about this because this might be the lane that crushes the Crystal Maiden Pudge in every scenario, you know, even if you use all of your spells properly. I mean, I'm theory crafting here, but I actually feel like the Enchant Totem is such a huge spell because both the Crystal Maiden and Pudge, they are very much soft in the early stages of the game.
And how do you build? I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen the Earthshaker, but it's been a longer time since I've seen a
You
core
still go
Earthshaker.
Blink. You still go Blink. Yeah.
Do you build into like the because I mean the very old build was going into like a Daedalus, you know, Desolators coming out, just trying to put as much build into that right click as you can when the Enchant Totem was there? Or is it going to be, you know, does Collapse even on the Earthshaker still want to go for that Meteor Hammer?
You don't go for the Meteor Hammer with the Shaker. I don't want to see it because none of your spells stun long enough for you to be able to use the Meteor Hammer properly. So I'm not a fan of that one. But I think it's gonna be Blink, BKB, and then you go classic Shard, Octarine, stuff like that. It's not gonna be much different than a position 4 Shaker. Just you're gonna have more farm, and BKB might be a different thing. But yeah, I think Blink and the Arcane Boots plus the BKB is the way to go.
Okay, and this is it, the third and final here between Team Spirit and HYDRA. But before we get into it, we're going to take a word from our sponsors over at EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
So, welcome back, and hurry. Now that we see both lineups and we've seen 2 games, you know, 1 go for either side, looking at these lineups here, who are you backing to take the game number 3 and take this series victory?
This is a tough question, actually, right? I feel like there's no winners in the draft right now.
Right.
And both of the teams have shown. I'm just trying to think about why I would go for one or the other team. So I'm going to make my decision. I'm a man here. It doesn't matter if I'm wrong or right.
30 seconds to battle.
I'm going to go for HYDRA. I think, I think that they have everything in their lineup to deal with everything Spirit has to offer, right? There is a chance that Collapse just crushes his lane right now and takes HYDRA by surprise. But if HYDRA can read this game properly, do okay in the laning phase, they can just continue running forward, and every single hero on the side of Spirit is killable.
Oh, well, let's see. Leffiton is going to be able to get himself away here. He gets out with just a mark here. Yatoro throwing a right click out. And we see the classic Earth Shaker, you know, getting those blocks on with the Fisher coming through. So this wave, you know, it will be pulled all the way back here. And you can see the Pudge going for the body blocks as, you know, the runes do go for 2 for 2. But we'll see how effective this Fisher block is going to be here for Collapse.
I think Leffiton is the most annoying player in the world for his enemies, because what he just did, he took away half of Yatoro's HP without getting hit once. He's just kiting him and attacking him and constantly getting his HP down so as to try to force him to morph a little bit more into strength, so he's not that great in terms of last hitting.
So, most annoying to people watching, most annoying to his enemies. You know, these are some good, you know, he's going to be taking these as pluses, I'm pretty sure. As we see the odds on the screen here for EGB, it is, I think this is the closest we've ever seen the odds today, you know, between the two teams. You know, one clear favorite. It's not clear cut between the both of them. And like you were saying about HYDRA having, you know, looking to get that good lane stage, in both games so far, the laning stage has been a major strength for HYDRA here.
Yeah, the reason I'm favoring HYDRA, if we can put it that way, is because they have such a good lineup to collapse onto Team Spirit, right? And they that has been their biggest strength throughout this series, the ability to force Spirit into an unfavorable fight and just run them down. And this time around, you don't have an anti-mage to fall back on.
Yeah, no, that is a big factor coming into this, and we see already the hooks coming through here. Level 2 though, the cookie comes up from Mira. Happy's still gonna be able to get first blood. He just dives into Crystal Maiden's weight and arms here, and Kami, you know, he's gonna be fine. Level 2 now, so that rock does come through, and this lane just got a hell of a lot harder for the side of Team Spirit.
Yep, level 2 Crystal Maiden, probably the strongest hero in the game on level 2, and if you do not have yours, you're in trouble. Plus, Shaker needs level 3 for the hero really to pack a punch. I expected him to start off with the Enchant Totem, to be honest, just to be able to apply pressure early on and get the enemies low before they get their level 2.
Yeah, this time though, you know, not going to be able to take over top lane. Miposhka is going to get low. Does he get the damage onto Leffiton? Leffiton's going to be low in there as well, but using one of the branches as well as the Tango, that's going to offer a hell of a lot of regen. I'm going to salve if he needs it too. So what does he want to take? Level 2, I assume it's just going to be the Thunder Strike onto Miposhka, but for now he is holding the point just in case.
He gets nothing, right? You just wait if you see that some of the spells... Okay, actually, he does get the Thunder Strike. He did wait in game number 1, so I thought he was gonna do it again. He might have overplayed his cards now, though.
Axes fly through though. Miposhka's got to be killed himself. The glimpse onto Yatoro. So Yatoro not going to be able to get the damage for the kill. And again, Disruptor, he has the salve. He's going to be able to pop it. And all of a sudden, he's back to full health. 3 mangoes. That's full mana there as well for him. Disruptor, he's going to be fine without having to go back to base.
This is the top lane, you know. Some of the Aoi's words from his famous YouTube videos where he's explaining the drafts might be echoing throughout our viewers here a little bit, though before that we are going to be seeing Miposhka go down. But what he did say is that, well, you pick up a counter for a hero, but the thing is this guy has played the matchup so many times, you haven't played it that many times, and that's why Cloud, even against the Enchantress, he's crushing the lane.
Yeah, at least Mira will be able to get something back here. Yo, just rubbing it in, taking half of the Roy's courier away from him, who did already have the items though. So again, you've just got to watch those angles, because Happy just trying to set up for the Pudge, feeding all those body parts and get that flesh heap pretty massive. So, and what does Spirit, I mean, because this looks like pretty much a free lane here for HYDRA. So how can Spirit answer back, or did he not answer back in the laning stage? Is it going to come down to like the late game fights that they could deal with this Pudge?
That's probably gonna be the case, right? But Warwick in the mid lane is in trouble.
He might go down actually. There's no mana left here on the Snapfire, and the cooldowns come through. Just denies himself to the neutral.
It wasn't on screen. The observer didn't get there in time, but he dodged the swashbuckle so well. If he hadn't dodged that one, that would have been a kill 100% for Laurel, and then he would have just continued farming. This way, he just takes away both the gold and the experience away from his opponents.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, Kami, he's going to be able to get the hook back now as well. The Frostbite comes out. Was the damage from the Crystal Nova as well, the cookie, but it sends Collapse over Kami, and Kami just goes, okay, I'm going to come back in. The rock comes through. Collapse trying to do what he can with the Enchant Totem, but another Frostbite, and Kami should be able to get this kill. kill. Yes, it's going to be going the way of Happy. Where's that hook? 1 second away. So Mira, he's just waiting for Happy to walk out of it. And you can see that the Frostbite comes through. Yeah, it was clever trying to get behind that range creep. But with the Frostbite, Kami can just walk up and get another kill. 3 stacks already on the flesh heap.
Yeah, but Team Spirit, they're striking on other lanes. Not in the mid lane, though.
Taking the top lane, yeah, but LOL's in trouble in this mid lane because Lefferton rotates in. You get the Vortex back. One more right click. And Warwick, he takes him down 5-1 in the first 5 minutes of the game here for HYDRA.
I don't know if HYDRA are this genius or they're sometimes getting a bit lucky because Warwick, he cancels out the shield crash from the Pango. The damage reduction probably would have allowed him to survive, but because he pulled him back before he hit the ground, no damage reduction for you, and then he's an easy kill.
Listen, if I've learned one thing, and I've probably only ever learned one thing, but if you listen to like poker players and you listen to like people that play games of chance, stuff like that, they do say luck is a skill. You have to make it work for you to get it right. And meanwhile, the glimpse comes through onto LOL. Warwick, he's going to be slowed down by the enchant, but the Vortex comes through now as well onto the Acorn. Do they carry on getting the kill? Was that Swashbuckle? It is going to be in range, and LOL will be able to get the kill. Lefferton at least going to get the deny here onto the Arcane Rune, but he will go down himself.
Yeah, Team Spirit are really trying here to kill the Storm before he gets level 6, and this time around they do manage to do it. And Team Spirit now, they didn't only strike in the mid lane, but in the bottom lane as well, so a couple of nice kills going their way.
Yeah, and I mean, while that's happening, you see that, do they set up? Mira might actually look for the cookie, but Kami, he's a pretty tanky boy, and he's got himself that ring of, he's got him, the phase boots, the ring of protection coming up now as well. Just going to go straight into the Ags. Top lane, though, Yatoro taking some damage from those axes, and it looks like 4 heroes inside of Team Spirit, they are going to be moving down, and it doesn't look like HYDRA, they have an idea this is happening. Well, now they will.
Yeah,
they're
now they're gonna understand.
Yeah, the Centaur Stomp, and that's going to be the death of the Crystal Maiden, but anything to back up Kami? Kami trying to do what he can and collapse. Yeah, he gets the kill, but with the Fissure coming through now as well, Rolling Thunder will be coming to an end. 4 heroes here, and Kami, he's just surviving. Where did the TP's going to come from? He's doing the damage now as well. He will go down, but Collapse taking some tower shots now as well. LOL gets low. If there was a TP in, potentially they could have got a couple of kills from that.
Yeah, well, no one wanted to. A Storm didn't have a TP, and if you're a Beastmaster, you're not going for that one. Actually, no one could have gotten there. With the Storm not having a TP, it was pretty much certain they're not gonna be defending him.
Yeah, Disruptors was on cooldown. I thought he'd walk back to the lane, but no, he TP'd back up to help out the Beastmaster. So yeah, no TPs were actually available to help Kami out.
Now the laning stage has turned on its head just towards the end of it. Team Spirit have been able to get some of the key kills, and it all started with that Storm kill in the mid lane before he gets level 6. Mefoshka really going for that one super hard. In the end, it works out and creates so many opportunities for Team Spirit.
Ooh, Warwick, the glimpse comes out though. Warwick still needs to walk himself out. Not safe just yet. He finds a of course he finds a regen rune. Why wouldn't he find a regen rune?
You said that you make your own luck, so that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he willed it into existence now, and Yatoro, you can see, has to move back behind the tier 1 tower as Warwick is trying to use this regen rune, find some more creeps, find some more benefit from it, until the Beastmaster's level 6 as well. There's going to be a roar available. If you want to go into Yatoro now as well, Yatoro trying to use the attribute shift, Thunderstrike coming through. There is going to be some teammates rotating over, but are they going to be in time here? Yatoro, and you can see that the Beastmaster here just holding that roar, just in case there's a TP out, something like that, onto Yatoro. Help is gone because the glimpse comes out now as well. There's going to be the roar. Do they have the damage to take him down though? Rolling Thunder, and Cloud could be in a little bit of trouble. The Remnant is going to pop, but it's not going to be affecting LOL. It's now back behind that tier 1 tower. You can see that Yatoro just trying to do what he can, and Cloud, he's going to go down. LOL, they did eventually find it, but Kami on the bottom lane takes down Collapse.
Yeah, Kami has been continuing to bully Collapse, but that top lane, really Yatoro, the way that he approached that one, just staying next to the tower, ring around the Rosie, and waiting for his team, understanding that if he survives long enough, he can bait the enemies into a bad position. In the end, it does turn out that way as well. So, both of the offlaners die, but it was HYDRA that were making a longer move.
Oh, Mira with the confidence, just tree blocks. It wasn't on the camera. Yeah. That was so close. And Kami, though, he's going to be able to find these stacks. There's 3 heroes stacking up on the side of HYDRA, looking maybe to go for another dive. But again, you've got the attribute shift onto Yatoro. Do you have the lockdown? The Axis, the Remnant. He's going to go for the waveform. The glimpse back, though, into kinetic field. He doesn't have a lot of mana left now as well. Is this going to be able to get the kill onto Yatoro this time? In the trees, the Axis fly through. And Warwick will be able to pick up the kill. So really, really well done this time on the side of HYDRA. The hook comes back, and they're even going to be able to on the bottom lane. Mira's going to get low. The Watts chase down here with the phase boots. Now even using the freezing field collapse. Does he get himself out of this? The damage, it's going to be enough onto Happy that, yeah, they're going to be able to stack it up. And collapse goes down. Kami is going to go for the TP. The damage, though, is it going to be from the edge? It's not.
Does get himself out. That was close for HYDRA, but in the end, they get everything they wanted. They got a kill on the top lane. They got kills on the bottom lane and the tower as well, opening it up for Cloud. The game is not going to be opened up for him as early as it was in game number 1, but this is still going to be nice for Cloud, considering that Team Spirit did pick the counters for Beastmaster, and he gets his map to open up. This is great. He might not be as strong as he was in the previous match that he played the Beastmaster, but he is still gonna be giving the things that the Beastmaster should, and that is control of the top parts of the map.
And yeah, you can see that Leffington just taking this time as well to push in with the catapult wave to put pressure onto that tier 1 tower while Warwick was moving through the jungle looking for the farm. And yeah, Storm Spirit going for a little bit different build in this one. He wants to go into the Sanjin Kaya, so that sustain, you know, that the damage scale there as well. Kami on the bottom lane. Do they actually make the move? Because it's going to be the TP in, and now there's going to be a really nice dismember coming through now as well. But the TP in from the Storm Spirit, the dive onto the backlines.
What an echo!
They do get the kill onto Kami, but can they get any more out of this as well? It looks like Warwick
no mana
dive away, but Happy Darari is going to be taking damage now as well. And yeah, they will get the kill. Mira with the cookie, and Happy will be the next target.
It's about who keeps the level head.
He's so
Do they break
slow.
division? No.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Swift as the Wolves of Ice Rack, because the Wolves of Ice Rack are frozen solid
Radiant
and can't move.
structures are fortified.
Oh, that is true, and yeah, that was just a beautiful echo coming out from Collapse, and you can see, even though he has had the worst laning stage of his life, possibly, and you know, the worst 12 minutes, I'd say, he still gets a beautiful echo that keeps the storm in place for quite some time. He takes some damage in the end. You can go for the chase down. Kami makes his presence known just before the tower falls. This is dangerous.
Yeah, he has to back himself away from this. There is still 3 heroes here from the side of Team Spirit, so Kami just has to leave, and he's getting so close to that Ags as well. With the gold that he's got, he's about halfway done, so he just needs to find this one, and he'll be able to get himself in. The disruption comes through, even gets himself a bounty room, but again, has to be careful. There's 3-4 heroes making a move to him. Pudge, rolling thunder. Well,
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's completely fine, and this is it. Once you get the Aghanim Scepter, even though you're not going to be looking for a fight, if Team Spirit decide to go for another dive on you, you're going to be dealing so much damage that they're actually all going to go down.
Yeah. And then, you know, you get your blink off, you get the initiation, you start off getting a jump onto Lol, you know, so we can't get the Rolling Thunder off, something like that, with the BKB as well. This Pudge is going to look incredibly scary, but we've already seen this Morphlin win at least once today. My mind, we've been going for a while, my mind's pretty fuzzy, but I know he's won at least one game, the Morphlin, and Yatoro are looking to do it here in this third and final. So he's going to have some, he's going to go towards that Lincoln Sphere, which is going to be great at trying to deal with this Dismember coming out from the Pudge.
It was game 1 of this series. They had a Morphling and a Beastmaster and an Invoker trio core on the side of HYDRA. So HYDRA has won one on it. Team Spirit, not just yet. So we'll see. And HYDRA are hunting for Collapse yet again. They want him dead, though he did buy his Blink Dagger. So even if he dies here, it's not the biggest of deals.
No, it looks like, I mean, 4 heroes grouping up for this, and the Beastmaster at least being able to put the pressure on with his creeps and keep that lane pushed in here. So maybe Collapse feels like he needs to stick around to push it back out. The smoke though on Lol and Mira close to Leffington. Leffington smoke's about to wear off. So the big wraparound coming here from Spirit. What can they actually find with this?
They're baiting on Collapse, and Collapse, he needs to be a bit greedy because his levels are very low. Considering that he has 3 points in Enchant Totem, it's going to take some time before he's back in the game. But, you know, getting a kill on Cloud is going to be a big deal.
Oh, the multi-kisses are going to be dropped here now as well. Cloud, can he get himself out? They're not going to be... Or they are going to be connecting now. And yeah, Cloud, he should go down. One more swashbuckle, 2 seconds, 1 second. And this is just going to be he goes down. Shield Crash is the one to finish off and get it. But it did buy some time for the side of HYDRA to rotate in. So if they want to go for a gank, go for a kill, they could dive. But it is 4 heroes they're going to be diving on.
It's dangerous. Happy is not in a good position.
No, he is not. And look at how quickly he loses his life. The Static Storm comes out of the freezing field. Echo Slam, he gets the kill onto the Crystal Maiden. And Warwick will be able to take down the Ancient Revenge, but he's already lost 3
He can fight them with his
teammates.
DD.
Does he want to, though? He's not got a lot of mana left. It looks like he's just going to be, more comfortable dipping out.
Coward. Just kidding. Yeah, he kills Mira, but the thing is that Collapse probably finishes him off, and it's not worth the risk. It's a low reward, high risk play.
And again, while this is happening, though, you are buying time for the Pudge to get closer and closer towards... Oh, he has it? Oh, that's quite nice here for the Pudge.
Big thing for HYDRA is that the Storm is having a good game, right? In this game, there is really not a lot that you have to deal with the Storm, especially once he gets his BKB, or it seems like Sanjin Kai will be the way to go. Considering that you're playing against a lot of consecutive stuns, you don't want to be stunned up from 100 to 0, so as Kaya is probably the better way to go about it.
Yeah, and he does have that... He's going to go back for the Witchblade as well, so he gets that Kaya out, just again for that little bit of scaling damage to come through. He's going to be fine with, and then right back into this Witchblade. So, and I mean, like you've talked about before, great attack animation onto the Storm Spirit. Does a decent amount of right-click damage as well. And the attack speed being boosted up by this Witchblade, it's a lot of what the Storm Spirit needs to be able to dominate through this mid-game. And Happy gets low, but Camu is waiting for someone to come forward to try and finish that kill and look for that hook.
This Alpha Wolf is biting into the Crystal Maiden, barely survives there, but it is going to be fine. Now, with Warwick having the Aegis, the only thing he wants right now is level 12, because that increases your speed of Ball Lightning quite a lot, and that is when you're going to strike. So Team Spirit, for the next 5 minutes, are going to be in trouble. To be honest, I would even use an Echo the next round of ultis onto the Storm Spirit just to kill that Aegis, because with it, if he's the one that's initiating, that means the Team Spirit are very likely losing the fight.
Yeah. And he's not going to be... In fact, he has that level 12 now as well. So popping this Illusion Room, maybe just doing a bit of scouting with it. Might even be able to bait out a couple of spells. Yeah, going to be seen by Mimposhka. But how quickly it disappears with the Impetus. Not going to be fooled there. But it does mean that they find a ward. They get the T-Ward off now as well. Rolling Thunder comes out. There's going to be the Roar. Mortimer Kiss is going to be dropped. Leffington is maybe try and drop his Kinetic Field Static Storm before he goes down. In fact, he tries to go, but there is going to be jump in. And Warwick, he will go down.
He's too deep.
He's going to be so low. Did he have the lockdown in time? They have it. But is he going to be able to get the kill into the Storm Spirit? It absolutely is.
Oh, he wasn't the one initiating, and Happy thinks he's going to be TPing away, and now Collapse Shaker, who is having a bad game, gets 2 kills and is starting to crawl back into the Storm that was having the best game, is now 1,000 gold, even more behind the Morphling. So all this kind of a dive can cost you. This was the timing for HYDRA, and that's why they went so aggressively, but you're going without your strongest hero, the Pudge, because he's still farming, and you're diving a tier 2 17 minutes in without any chances of winning that fight. So really an overextension from HYDRA, and they're gonna pay because of it. On the other hand, though, their lineup is important for their lineup to keep up the pressure, but Team Spirit have been keeping up in terms of positioning for a very long time. Right now they are slowing down the game.
Yeah, big dive in here from the Storm Spirit, who's going to help follow him up now as well. What's he going to do? Is he going to be able to get the kill onto Collapse? Collapse, the cookie comes out, and this time Warwick doesn't overextend. He's kind of learned his lesson here.
Yeah, if he had one more hero there, maybe TP to the outpost, maybe he decides to go forward, but here it was way too dangerous, and he made a mistake. He zipped in and he didn't attack. He zipped in and then he pulled Collapse and then attacked, and that's a lot of damage being thrown away.
Yeah, and I suppose he just wanted to make sure. I mean, yeah, you do try to make sure, but the ball lightning would have been enough to cancel off the Blink Dagger now. He's not going to be too far away from that Witchblade. It is going to be what looks like the Sange then into the Ags here for Warwick, though. So he does want to help set up for the Pudge, just be able to dive in and get the rot off onto everybody.
Late game for HYDRA is good, but it is good once Team Spirit lose the BKB charges on the Morphling. So, you know, if you are not forcing out those fights, once the Morphling gets the BKB, you're going to be in a ton of trouble later on in the game.
Yeah, we'll see here if the Pudge wants to dive in. I mean, there's the cookie here for Mira. He's got no BKB, so this dismember can be interrupted. The cookie comes through, yeah, and Miposhka, he's still going to go down. Kami picks up the kill, gets himself his 8th Flesh Heap stack of the game, and it will allow HYDRA a little bit of space just to put the pressure onto this tier 2 tower.
Dire's top
That's quite a lot. He's actually very fat on the Pudge. You know, you don't have a lot of armor, but you're probably gonna build into it after the BKB. And once you get a lot of armor with this amount of HP, even the Morphling isn't gonna be that much of a threat to you.
Yeah, and how is Yatoro doing on the Morph? He's, like you say, he's building towards that BKB, not going to be too far away here. Wants that wind lace to come out as well, it seems like. But for the minute, he has only got 2 parts of this BKB. Still about 800 gold away from completing on it.
Well, you know, he is going for an axe at some point. So he's going to be taking away status resistance from the Pudge. Imagine Pudge with 40% of his status resistance taken away. The stuns from the Shaker, they're going to last forever.
True, they absolutely are here. But it looks like... Do they actually get the jump onto Yatoro if the smoke breaks here? Kami... Did he get the hook? It gets the drag back into the kinetic field, so that Lincoln's doesn't really matter. They do get the lockdown, they get the kill in the river now as well, and Warwick's going to be able to get the kill onto Mira. It will cost him his life. Collapse though. TP is going to be cancelled by the Glimpse, and Kami was that Blink Dagger 3 seconds away, and Collapse with the Enchanted Totem trying to do some damage to Leffington, but there is going to be the kinetic field now as well. The Frostbite comes out,
Dire's bottom tower
and Cloud, he snipes it with the Axis.
No, why not, you know?
Yeah,
Cut him
why
down.
not?
Cut him down. He's the Beastmaster and this guy's a cow, so it does make sense. Either way though, Warwick, he did not expect this Shaker to do so much damage. Once he gets the BKB and the shard, that damage output, that solo kill potential is going to be there even more. So this Storm really needs that Sanj as fast as possible because he doesn't have any HP items, and that is just what's allowing the Shaker to catch him.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got the enough gold as if he wants for the Ograx, which he does buy out. So he's going to be about 1,000 gold away from fully completing the Sanjin Kaya, which, you know, if he keeps up this pace, if he finds this farm, it shouldn't be too far away from him now. Maybe before this next fight breaks out.
Team Spirit, they're approaching their BKB on the Morphling. Then again, the Pudge is approaching his BKB. Spirit are gonna have it earlier, so they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be going for a smoke first. And it's gonna be very important that that one is successful, because if not, and HYDRA get their BKB on the Pudge as well, Pudge with the BKB is pretty much untouchable.
Yeah, and I mean, he's what, still about 1,600 gold away from finishing off. Yeah, you know, he's got enough for the recipe if he wants it, but he still needs the gold for the Mithril Hammer. But he's still a big tanky boy here with really only the Aghanim set to really boost him up.
Yep. I mean, 10 flash keeps is nothing to laugh at. Those do stack up. But we'll see once the Morphling gets the Aghanims and starts taking his stats. It might just work against him.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see Yatoro here. He's got that BKB flying out to him now as well, so that's going to be a nice timing, just as it looks like they're going to try and engage. Warwick, he's close. He just needs the recipe gold for the Sanj as well, so maybe HYDRA just keep the distance until maybe either the Sanj comes out or the BKB here for the Pudge.
Team Spirit, they have the BKB on the Morph, they have the smokes ready, and they are probably going to be going for that one. They're also going to have the Echo Slam in a couple of seconds, so they're more than ready to go for an engagement.
Look at this though, the Storm Spirit, he's going to dive in onto Collapse. Do they have enough to get the kill off here, or does he have enough to get the kill onto Collapse? It looks like he's trying to dodge off the Fissure. One more right click Collapse. Oh, he's so low.
But he knows where the enemies are, and that's a lot of info for HYDRA. So when you look at the map, HYDRA are currently farming much more than their opponents. And, you know, Storm Spirit, he has a double damage. He tries to go for a kill. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough.
No, but it does send the Earthshaker all the way back to base here. Collapse didn't want to use that BKB until a fight breaks out, so I mean, he needs to heal up, so that means he has to go all the way back to Fountain. No other way to really regen here, because it didn't look like Miposhka wanted to pop those Nature's Attendants either.
Team Spirit are gearing up for a smoke, but it's taking a long time. You can see that HYDRA are coming together. They've already farmed the entirety of the map, and now if they come together, hide behind their tier 2 and go for a smoke themselves, they're going to be in a better position. Considering the positioning of the lanes, HYDRA really should not get caught off guard by this one.
No, this is the Sanjin Kaya for the Storm Spirit. It's 300 gold away, just under 300 gold away here for the the BKB of the Pudge now. So the smoke breaks. Happy's going to be the one to break it. Woods goes down, immediately gets de-warded off. But it's the early warning for HYDRA, and now they know where they need to go to back away.
Nice one by Miposhka that he read that one, because as soon as their smoke breaks and no one is there, you have to understand that they were probably ready for it. So yeah, well, they were ready for it on their own vision, not just randomly staying in the dark waiting for the enemies to know their positioning. So the second that the sentry comes out, they see a ward, they get themselves out. Nice call for Team Spirit, but HYDRA are keeping themselves in it with these abilities to push out the waves with the Beastmaster. Spirit don't have anything to match that one, so that's why HYDRA are currently ahead. You know, even though Team Spirit theoretically in a fight they could be stronger, but the question is, how do you get a better initiation? You're lacking in terms of vision, and in terms of lane outpush, HYDRA are better there as well.
Yeah, and look who's back. It's gonna be the big man in his pit, scouted out by the Pangoli illusion. Back again.
Okay.
Don't forget to tell a friend.
Okay, I will. And it's a 10-man smoke here right now. Who gets the better jump? Warwick? No, we cannot get caught.
He just waits, he gets blown up, but there's going to be the big jump in now from Kami. This is going to be his BKB, and Yatoro, he actually steals the Pudge form. It cancels off the TP now as well, but Yatoro, he just drags Kami right back into him. But with 4 heroes being around, Kami will go down, and that was... I don't know what happened to the Soma, just comfortable to stand there. What? After his smoke breaks, Happy, the Fisher comes through, the hook, dragged back, and this is going to be death to Crystal Maiden as well.
Warwick just cost them everything, right? They had the lead, they have better vision, they have everything, and he just walks to the low ground and stands there, like literally zones out completely. And his teammates, I mean, they all pay the price, because, you know, if he dies, the enemies are getting Roche. You have to do something about it. But then again, it just ends up being an even worse disaster for them. The game has broken, but it looked like it was going to be in favor of HYDRA, but it will go in favor of Spirit.
Yeah, Miposhka now getting the chase down off the Leftyton as well. A lot of damage, one more impetus strike, but it looks like Leftyton will be able to get himself away from this. But on this Roche, this is a shard as well here. So it looks like, did they give it over to Lol or maybe even Yatoro? It looks like Yatoro is going to be the one to get the shot.
Oh, Warwick, I saw him literally go for like gulp. You know, it's you can see that he's not happy about what he just done, and hopefully everybody on the team stayed silent, would just say, okay guys, keep it cool, we still have a chance here, because those kind of plays can break a team that is not experienced, and HYDRA still falls into that category.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a tough road back here for HYDRA, because I mean that was the BKB being revealed from the Pudge. The Storm Spirit, again, that Sanjin Kaya, that it just, well, it didn't have the impact that he thought it was going to have, being locked down by 4 heroes. And yeah, now that Spirit have this Aegis, you know, they have the momentum in their favor as well.
And you could see that Collapse now, he knows about the sand, but I think he didn't know at that point. But still, he just got in and he started spamming his spells. He did not care to like wait to perfectly lock him down, because they knew, we killed this guy and it's over. The fight is done. We have won. And that's exactly what he went for. Because if you wait for Shaker to, you know, go for your perfect stuns, you can actually make a mistake against the Sanjin Kaya, and he might get the zip away.
Yeah, and so what can HYDRA do here to get themselves back into it? Is it just gonna...
They're okay, right? 1k gold lead, it's not that big of a deal. They're still the ones that are controlling the top part of the map. They have the outpost, they have the tier 2. It is actually Spirit that, in terms of tier 2s, need to get themselves back in the game. So it's just that the game has broken their way for the next 5 minutes, because of the Aegis. They are the ones controlling everything, and currently standing on top of a hawk. So HYDRA knows everything that's going on.
Okay, and we see the dive away here from Warwick. I like that the Pudge went immediately after he gets the BKB, he just goes straight for that plate mail. Like you said, he needs that armor. The drive comes out to Miposhka now as well. So they are going to be starting this off quite well with a kill onto and taking down the Enchantress. Mira. Cookie on the spot though, the jump onto the back lines. Do they get a kill onto the Pangoli? The Static Storm comes out, they have that lockdown, they have the kill, the BKB's going, they're going to be able to clean up onto this. And HYDRA, they take 3.
And the gem. They got 3 in the gem. They saw Collapse on the bottom lane. He's the main teamfight hero for Team Spirit, and Miposhka showed himself in the mid lane. He just wanted to pull the wave back, right? Towards the jungle, towards the high ground. But HYDRA were ready. Immediately blink, immediately jump with the storm as well. And that's a dead hero. When you start off with that one and there's also a gem on the ground, Team Spirit get baited into a bad position.
Oh, well. That is it. I immediately answered my own question. You know, what HYDRA needed to do to get some momentum back, and that was taking down 3 heroes. The target acquisition there as well, from jumping onto taking down the Enchantress, and then immediately being able to get the blink forward and take down the Pangolier as well. You know, and then the cookie, I mean, it was a bit unlucky here for Miri. Tried to cookie, but he was still in the kinetic field, so he literally just hops on the spot, and then, you know, the jump came through from HYDRA, and they were able to take him down easy.
I beg to differ. He used the cookie into the kinetic field towards the enemies, not away from the enemies. So he was getting closer. Even if he would pick up that gem, he still dies and just closer to the enemies. So either way, it would have ended up in his demise. Just kind of looks silly when you're just hitting your head onto the wall. But Team Spirit, they're not done. They're going for a smoke. They still have the Aegis. They are still stronger.
Yeah, while this is going on, you can see that Leffiton actually uses the Static Storm to push out the lane. So helping, I guess, the Beastmaster, I don't know, apply pressure. That one's a bit of a strange one.
Morph is alone.
Yeah, no. I mean, he does still have that Aegis. His teammates aren't too far behind as he puts pressure onto the tier 2.
But
the Mira. Yeah, Mira, now he's going to be on the Lincoln Sphere, immediately broken. The hook back behind that tier 2 tower, and couldn't even get the Glimmer Cape off of there. That is going to be the death of the Snapfire.
Mira hates the Disruptor for sure, right? He has been pain in his backside quite a lot here. That's why he played it in the previous game. Didn't want to give it to HYDRA, but HYDRA can just utilize this hero quite well.
Yeah, and the Pudge, looking at the item coming out here, it's going to be the Shivas, so that's going to be even more disruption on top of the rot, and he's only about 1,000 gold away from picking it up, you know, and the way that Kami's farming, you know, he's a bit behind the Morphling, but he's still having a really damn good time in this game.
And even more heal reduction for the Morph, even more heal reduction for the Enchantress. That is huge. If they get this Morphling's BKB down to low charges, it's going to be big. And pretty much only 8 seconds is being counted as a huge charge. 7 is already low.
The break the Lincoln's kinetic field comes out. Static Storm's going to be there. Is there going to be any follow-up from the side
7
of HYDRA?
seconds.
Though it looks like they're waiting out. Yeah, they're trying to wait out the edges. They get the kill onto the Pangolier, the backlines, and now the dive comes through. HYDRA, though, going to use that BKB. Was that blink away? They don't have a roll. Was the blink, though, from the Pudge? Wasn't able to get it, to get the Dismember. And at least they get the kill onto the Pangolier, though, and like you say, using another charge of the Morphling's BKB.
He had a Lincoln's. Pudge made a mistake there. He used the hook to kill the Pango. He thought he was not going to die to the damage, but I think he would have. Still, you don't want to risk it. And because of it now, he didn't have that one to cancel the TP of the Morphling. But that doesn't matter. You get a kill on the Pango, and you force out an 8-second BKB of the Morphling. This is a win for HYDRA. Even though Spirit got a free fight there around the Roche and the Roche, they still haven't been able to capitalize on it.
And that's Shiva's gold here for the Pudge. I think the recipe was on the Courier, and the Courier got killed, but he's still got the gold here for the Mystic Staff. So once that Courier comes back in the next 40 seconds, you know, that is going to be another big item time. Like you were saying, the reduction onto the Morphin or the Enchantress, being able to get the slows off so people can't run away from the rots, it all just starts to stack up and goes Pudge's way in these fights. And yeah, how do Team Spirit, because we've not seen many Mortimer Kisses, so are you looking for that, you know, that big jump in from the Earthshaker Echo Slam into the Fissure with those Mortimer Kisses raining down for Spirit to get back into this?
I mean, Collapse, I don't like it doesn't have the shard just yet. He went for a Shadow Blade, meaning that he is hunting for solo kills. He wants that big initiation, but I would have preferred if he played from the back and getting those fissures out, because we don't really see fissures being disruptive in the game here. Yeah, there it is. Collapse goes for the solo kill. At least his plan works out. Not really.
Does it, because he's going to be dragged back, 3 heroes stacking up around him, and he's going to be dead.
If that was his plan, it's a pretty shit plan, though. Yeah. It wasn't. It probably wasn't. He wanted the kill. He thought he was going to get out, but Storm is just too fast of a hero. You know, when you have the maxed out Ball Lightning, you're just so fast to go around the map, and he has an Axe, so you don't really even need to get the click onto the enemy, just be in range of the Electric Vortex.
That's it. Collapse calculated it, but boy, is he bad at maths.
Yeah, true. He's good at calculating distance, not the speed of killing, I guess.
Yeah. And yeah, so that opens up now. Again, he's going to be dead for 30 seconds. And that's, well, it could be the perfect timing for the next Roshan. It could be, as once again, the Pudge actually went for a refresher before he finished off the Shivas.
Yeah, he just bought the double perseverance earlier. He feels like the Shiva is not needed just yet. And it actually is a late game item against the Morphling, to be honest. The armor is good enough.
So the dive in, they've got the lockdown now as well with this Samemba coming through. They should be able to get the kill. Yatoro, though, is it going to be on the freezing field? Comes through the cookie. And Yatoro with the BKB charge. That hook, it's not going to land. But again, they forced out the BKB from Yatoro.
He turns into the Pudge and he has 6k HP. You don't have that much damage. Considering that most of your damage is magical, well, going through 6,000 damage, good luck about that one.
Yeah, and so yeah, no, he's able to get himself away from it, and the rest of the team doing work as well. The cookie to try and break, get the distance, and he was able to do BKB and then get himself away. But again, 30 seconds now, 30 seconds for real before the Roshan is back up. And how are these BKBs? 47 seconds on the Pudge. Storm Spirit doesn't have one. Don't know why I'm checking it. 42 seconds on the Beastmaster here as well. So. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Morphling has his own BKB, 40 seconds cooldown on that. Pango didn't use his, and Earthshaker has one up as well. So these are going to be good timings just as the Roche comes back up.
The big problem for Spirit is, one, they don't have any save heroes. Two, they don't have a frontliner. And that is going to become very much apparent once the Disruptor gets the Aghanim Scepter. He's halfway there. He needs 2,000 gold more. So that is an item that you don't want to see on equal footing if you're Team Spirit, but because in that kind of scenario where the Morphling is in the mid lane, he dies 100%.
Yeah, and it looks like here, Spirit, they are stacking up around the outpost. Do they go for a smoke gank? Because, I mean, HYDRA, they're already making a move over to this side of the map. And it looks like Spirit, did they group up for this? They're looking for somewhere they have vision where they can go for that smoke if they want to, without being seen. In fact, no smoke comes out. Just the rotation from Spirit, the group up.
He wanted to the hook the hill troll with the Pudge, and he hooked the hawk from the Beastmaster. He's gonna be very sad about that one. We are having some FPS issues here on the HYDRA side. Still, dire side, it is Team Spirits. They might have lost their tier 2 without claiming the enemies, but they are holding the outpost. The problem for Spirit is they don't have a single buyback, and buybacks before Roche fights are very important, especially heroes like a Storm, who, once they buy back and come back into the fight, will just decimate everybody.
Yeah, true. How much gold? I mean, it is gold timings for everybody. I mean, Collapse does have his. But like you say, the Storm Spirit, the Disruptor, the Crystal Maiden on the side of HYDRA, all three of these heroes have the buybacks now. And gold-wise, it is still going to be a ways away for the Beastmaster as well as the Pudge. So we'll see. The smoke coming through from 3. Are they actually going to be able to find the jump? Nope, the Blink Dagger away from the Beastmaster. So he is, those spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah, and they're gonna reveal themselves for the 250 gold of the Ancient Black Dragon, but Cloud is just gonna be getting another one. He has to enjoy the company of his Overlord creeps before the Enchantress gets level 20.
Yeah, true. And like you say, the Scepter is there from the Storm Spirit, so the Storm Spirit gets a good dive in around the Roche pit. It could be a decent amount of lockdown coming out that Team Spirit have to deal with here. The wards do go down. Yatoro shifts himself into the Pudge form once again. Not going to be able to find anyone with that hook.
Max agility, he has 3k HP. That's a little bit not fair, right? Wouldn't you say so? And he cannot get stunned. It's like he constantly has 40%. Oh, he even has the Titan Sliver, so scratch that. He has even more status resistance. What is that? 47%.
That is a major reduction in with that status resistance coming out. So I suppose they do have to wait for this Pudge form to be over and Pudge to get his stats back.
Yeah. Without it, he's just not as powerful. Now he has 3,000 HP, but if you take away 20% of his strength, well, it's not even close to that number.
Yeah, and the Beastmaster went back. We've not spoke about this, but the Beastmaster went back to the Octarine core, which brings the raw cooldown down to 40 seconds. Now, if you're starting the fight with that raw, and the fight, fight takes about, what, 20, 30, 40 seconds. If someone looks to re-engage, or the Beastmaster's looking for a chase, that raw is going to be available, and he's going to be able to get it off twice in a fight.
Yeah, that would be pretty major if that does happen. Right now, everything is happening around this Roche. Both of the teams are trying to farm their buybacks, and I think players would be crazy if they just buy out an item. Even Kami buying out his Shiva, I wouldn't recommend it. Buybacks are much more important now.
Yeah, and he's about 800 gold, 900 gold away from having that buyback, so it is close, but not there just yet. Beastmaster about 50 gold away as well, so he should have this off this next campaign. Yeah, you can see the furthest one away is going to be the Morphin on about 1500 gold before he's going to be able to have that buyback.
He bought a Crystallis. Crystallis is definitely a major item for him, because you do need those crits to be able to bring people down. Currently, its Spirit have magical damage and Morphling right clicks, and that Crystallis increases its right clicks by, you know, maybe 30%. So that is a lot of damage influx for their physical damage part.
Yeah, just checking around as well on the side of HYDRA. Nobody has the boots of travel. So I was just thinking about, you know, with everything being about around this Roche pit from both teams, I would, if there was some boots of travel up, you know, you can see the Beastmaster maybe pushing up, putting pressure onto the bottom tier 2, and then looking, you know, leaving a Hawk for him to TP into to get involved in the fight. So, you know, something like this. But the creep wave on the bottom lane is pushing in. The Morphlins are away from this Roche pit as well. Obviously won't be scouted out from HYDRA, but it's still... Both teams, look at the odds again, coming down. HYDRA, Spirit are still the favourites in this game, but HYDRA, it is close. It's not, you know, there's not a massive gulf between the two teams.
Dota Plus win probability is over 60% for HYDRA. Dota Plus understands what's up. This time around, HYDRA are going to be getting the creep out of the Roche pit. Last time, Kami, he cooks the Hawk, and then the next time, there is a mud golem in it, so he kills it, but there's still 2 of them left. Now, finally, they're gonna get the Spirit Vision out of there. Mira, he might need to start with the ulti here if they want to see what's going on.
He's going to be coming in with the Glimmer Cape now as well, but there's going to be the dive onto the back lines while the Lotus comes out, and that might actually keep him alive to get himself out of this. The Lincoln's on top of him here as well, the Hawk dive in, but it does only break the Lincolns on the Snapfire. Oh, that hook was so close to collapse as well.
He didn't listen to what his hero was saying, because usually the punch usually goes like "Rah," or something along those lines when he misses the hook, and they went for the dust either way, hoping that he did catch someone.
Yeah, I suppose a big thing as well is Cloud. If he's got these Hawks coming through, you know, if there's no... We'll come back to this as they get the dive on, and everything I was saying is now inconsequential because Cloud has gone down, so Kami has to move away from these Mortimer Kisses. There is still that buyback for the Beastmaster though. Let's see if he wants to get himself back into this. The dive onto the back line, he's the Vortex as well. There's going to be a really nice dismember. The hooks.
Nice save!
Though. He saves it. Cloud gets himself back into this now, and Kami, he's losing so much life. Kami's going to go down. They do get the kill onto Leffington there as well. So Mira, with that freezing field, Mira will go down. And the damage of the hooks, Yatsuo still in that punch form. He's getting them back. They get the buyback out from the punch of the Storm Spirit. Everybody from the side of HYDRA, they don't want to be giving this one up now as well, but they take down Leffington once again. That's the dieback on the Disruptor, and Yatsuo, what can he do? The hook, it's going to be blocked mid hook. This is the dieback onto Cloud. Cloud, can he get himself away from this one? He's still being harassed by Collapse. One more right click, he goes down. That is going to be the Beastmaster dead for 115 seconds, and now the chase is on for the rest of the side of HYDRA.
This Aghanims on the Morphling is just making him impossible to deal with. First of all, they use the little shredder on the Pudge to get rid of his armor. He has solid amounts of it, but it is just not enough. And then Yadaro just destroys him, and he knows that he can stand his ground because he cannot be stunned. He literally cannot be stunned. How do you stun water? Well, you don't. And now, I mean, it's HYDRA used every single one of their buybacks and still lost that fight. Like, significantly lost that fight. It is insane how much of a win for Team Spirit that is. The game was even. Now it's 20k gold ahead.
Yeah, and this is where Team Spirit can take an advantage where Collapse... okay, no, he just brought up. But, you know, the buyback is there for Yatsuo. Yatsuo has the Aegis onto Lal as well, so there is an abundance of lives here on the side of Team Spirit. If he can take some a good fight inside HYDRA's base, you know, I mean, Cloud still isn't up for 50 seconds, so they still have that 1-man advantage when Collapse gets back here, and they could try and force something out. It looks like they are going to try and force something out. The backline dive, though, from the Storm Spirit. He's out of mana, has to get himself back into the fountain to heal it up and get that mana back.
Collapse is back now, so if the Storm makes a mistake, he can get stunned up by the Fissure, and then it's the end of him.
Yeah, and look at this. Team Spirit, they're just pushing through onto the base, and I don't know how HYDRA pushed them back here.
You try to kill the creeps and the Storm is going for it. Okay. Yeah. Actually, does the Morphling have enough damage to go through backdoor? He's not even gonna attempt it.
No, they just shift targets, move themselves up to the top lane, and will look to push down onto this tier 2 tower on the top.
It is just a big hit when you bought back 5 heroes. The enemies, if I remember correctly, they bought back on 2. It's Laurel and Mira that got back into that fight. So they have 3 buybacks, they have the Aegis, they have the cheese. They have so many more lives more than you, right? 3 buybacks, and so they have 10 heroes on Spirit, and you just have 5 if you're Hydra. Plus, you're now 22,000 gold behind, and it just comes down to it, to Team Spirit finding the better angle to join that fight, right? And once the Morphling gets a kill on Cloud, he needs some time to come back into it. He takes the Pudge form. That is how it's gonna go. Hydra, this is it. In Dota, you have to utilize every single one of your heroes, and if your strength is vision with the Beastmaster and you don't utilize that part of the hero, get caught off guard, it means that you're most likely going to be losing the fight, and that was a pretty big loss.
Yeah, and would you have preferred here? I mean, the Shivas before he went for the refresher, it was a good idea for Kami, but would you have preferred like a Shivas into a Linken's instead of this refresher for the push?
Shiva's maybe over the refresher, but at the time it seemed like a good move. It really did seem like a good move. It looked like Leviathan was going to be finishing off his Aghanim's and everything's going to be working out, but then the game just came down to a stalemate.
Yeah, or at least he has the Axe coming out now for the Disruptor. So we'll see what they can do again. The Aegis is on the Pangolier, and maybe this is going to be Hydra. I mean, if they go down, everybody doesn't have a buyback available. You know, either bought out or it's on cooldown. So this could be do or die time for Hydra because they are losing their base, and if they lose their lives as well, Spirit will just be able to finish this game off.
You kill the Arrow and you're winning the fight because he's the main damage and the main tank. And he TP's out, so without him, this is going to be an easy one for Hydra.
They do get the roar onto the Pangolier now as well. Do they have enough to take him down twice? That Aegis is still there. And Pudge, do you want to maybe try and go for the refresh and
Morphin's running back.
Oh no, the Static Storm comes out now as well. They've got the lockdown on Lol. He's going to go down now as well. The Vortex dragged back by the Storm Spirit. Lincoln's being broken by that Diving Hawk. And even Happy using the freezing field just to make sure there was no follow-up from that. And that is going to be the Pangolier dead for now for the next 110 seconds.
Well, that TP from the Morphling towards the bottom lane, he thought his teammates could stay alive, but with the Aghanim Scepter of the Disruptor, it's just not possible, and he's the one with the Lincoln, so no one there to stop the Dismember and the Roar. I guess Lotus Orb is fine, but it is just not as good.
Yeah, and that was the reveal there as well of that Aghanim Scepter, so maybe they weren't expecting it, and it was a great jump from Hydra to be able to claim that kill. The issue is now they've lost 2 lanes of Rex. They've got a tier 2 tower still standing. It's been a long day. A tier 2 tower still standing in the mid lane as well. If they leave their base for any amount of time, these lanes will be pushing in. So Hydra, what is the game plan for them now?
I mean, the game plan is the same now. You finally do have a way to kill the Morphling, right? Even if he turns into a Pudge, inside of the Static Storm, if he doesn't get his BKB off, he will die. So that is what you're gunning for. You want to get on top of the Morphling and use everything on him. Once that happens, test the waters. If he's buying back, you're running away like hell. If not, then you're chasing forward.
Okay, and we'll see here. He's trying to use these illusions, it looks like, on the Pudge, but that is a big wave pushing in, and the Beastmaster or the Crystal Maid. Someone has to deal with this because that's not going to start pushing. So yeah, it looks like it is going to be. It's actually going to be Kami himself that moved himself over, just immediately dealing with these catapults. Comes in with a rot, and yeah, you see he's healing himself up, just getting through and just immediately clearing through these creeps.
Team Spirit might have a big lead, but Hydra are close to being out of the worst position on the in the game so far, because they are getting their buybacks back in 2 minutes. And Collapse, does he think he can go for this one?
Oh, Lefington was close as well. Lefington needs to leave. He needs to go for that TP out. And I get the idea, but it could be a bait on a bait here.
This is Lefington we're talking about. He's not gonna do it.
He's hiding himself in the trees, but you know this time the Morphin's going to show as well. Surely this is enough of a warning here, Lefington, that you group up with the rest of your team. Surely.
Look at his face. He's just like, oh, another day of doing my own thing. This is exactly what he always does. Is deep in enemy territory. Sometimes he gets caught. Most of the times he does create a lot of space, but dying at this point in the game, it would be a catastrophe for his team. Immediately, Spirit would be going high ground and finishing off the game. So I'm glad that he did TP back, because his death there would have been GG.
Yeah, and we can see that, at least for the top lane, you know, it's being pushed out. The Thunderhide's here to back up the creep wave to push in. There is a hell of a lot of creeps pushing into this. Bottom lane, Catapult coming through, but a couple of axes, in fact. They might even be able to get the jump. No, Miposhka, he's got a BKB of his own. That's going to be his first one, but it means it will be down now if a fight breaks out from the side of HYDRA, and they want to go for a jump. Miposhka, no BKB left.
I imagine that one. Oh, we forced out the 9-second BKB. Let's go. But it's only a support. They're going for a smoke. They understand it's a small advantage, but it's an advantage nonetheless. And you want to be the one jumping at Toro. The problem is Yadoro has the ninja gear, so he's always in smoke. Very hard to find him, even though you do have a Beastmaster with better vision.
Yeah, oh, there's going to be a regen reveal here, though. This is going to be nice for the Storm. Storm is walking himself in, pops it off, doesn't have the bottle in a slot to pick it up because he wants to be using this gem here, Warwick. So it is just going to be the regen. Gets a little bit of extra farm, and that means that he should have... Yeah, he has the gold. He just needs to wait on the timer now for his buyback.
Storm is going to have level 25. I'm curious to see what he gets. I guess having the shard, you get the overload attack bounce. It's the stronger one, but your heroes don't really attack all that much.
Well, we'll see what actually they're going to be able to dive in. And Kami, oh, at least he has that buyback now, but they're just going to do the big dive in now, the drive back as well.
Disruptor ulti.
But do they have the lockdown? They do. They're going to be able to take down. They do. They get the kill onto the Morphling. He does have that buyback available.
Chase
Can
is
he get himself
on.
back into this fight? Lol, the hook. It's going to miss. Oh, close, but not hitting onto Poshka now. And it looks like HYDRA have to back themselves away as the Morphling will be able to get the boots to travel TP in. It looks like they want to go once again. Now this static storm being down. Can HYDRA repel Spirit from their base?
They have a storm spray. They should be able to. You have the glyph maybe for this wave, and then you cut the next one while someone is dealing with the mid wave, and that should be enough to stay alive long enough for you to get another static storm.
Yeah, Frostbite onto Ench. Ench has that BKB back up now as well, so we'll be able to pop that if he gets into trouble. But they do, yeah, they push back. They repel the pushing from Spirit here. Oh, the drag. Did they get the kill onto Miposhka? Miposhka's using that BKB, but he did dismember just to cancel off the TP now as well. Miposhka down to the low ground. Storm Spirit dives in, dives back out, gets the kill. And that is going to be a fairly nice one, even if it is just a support, just to be able to put the advantage in your favor and push Spirit back once again.
HYDRA have a win condition now with Yadoro not having his buyback. It is definitely a win condition. I don't know if the Pudge dies, if it's the same, because Team Spirit, a lot of their damage, if not most of it, is on the Morphling.
Oh, the glimpse comes back though. Inside the Static Storm mirror, he has that Lotus going, and now if Storm Spirit actually dives a little bit further, the Lord Thunder comes out. Miposhka, he's dove in. Yeah, they're going to be able to get the kill onto the Storm Spirit. Can they take down the Pudge? They're going to be able to get the Storm and cancel off the TP. He's going to be dead. The Storm Spirit though, he has bought back, and they've got no kinetic field, no Static Storm. And like you say, they're even going to be able to get the lockdown onto Cloud. Cloud, everybody inside of HYDRA, they just overextended, and we praised them in the first game for respecting the power of Team Spirit here, but HYDRA might have just lost the heads a little bit, and the buybacks, they're going to be forced out, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to defend this base with the Pudge being down, with no Static Storm for the next 27 seconds. Spirit, what can they get from this? Dive in, Warwick though, they're going to be able to get them two. They get two! They do! They take them down. The cookie comes out. The Yatsuro freezing field. They might lose Happy. Happy, is this the dieback? They do. They break the Lincoln Sphere though. Morphling. Bilal wants to come right back into this fight. Does he have the boots of travel to do it? It might take him a little bit longer now. No boots of travel though, so he's going to have to use the blinks. You know, they just do it by foot, it seems.
Level 25 Storm with a Beastmaster, so much damage. They're going in for the Morphling. He doesn't have a buyback.
No, they get the... Do they get the kill? He does. He goes down. Warwick has to go down, though. It's going to be him left alive. No, it's not. The creeps are pushing in. There's no buybacks available on the side of HYDRA, and this is going to be 4 heroes, even with the death of the Morphling. No way. No way Warwick defends this.
Yeah, it's pretty much over. They don't have the glyph. The game is over. They gave it their best. HYDRA, they made Team Spirit work for it. The team that is most likely gonna be at the top of Eastern Europe DPC Division 1. They really made them work for it. This team is legit, and Spirit, they're sweating after this series.
Yeah, you can see the relief on the faces of the Spirit players, and HYDRA, you know, they're absolutely gutted because they could have taken this one, and it wasn't to be in this final fight. But They pushed it through. What I think the quickest game was about 38 minutes. The second game that Team
Yep.
Spirit won here, yeah, HYDRA taking it the distance. And if the they maybe played it a little bit calmer in that last fight on the bottom lane, maybe no overextensions come out, and they could have been winning that. They because like you say, the Morphin buyback was forced out. They just overcommitted a little bit in that last fight, and it did cost them the game.
There was a couple of times that HYDRA made a mistake in this game, but sometimes you see a team make one mistake and they lose the game, right? HYDRA made a couple pretty crucial ones. That Storm death on the top lane, 9-second BKBs just down the drain. Now bottom lane dive, that fight, the Team Spirit just caught them with their pants down and they use 5 buybacks and still lose the fight. Those are things that can lose you the game, but because they were moving so well around the map and in those downtimes when they weren't making mistakes, they were making good moves. This makes them a good team, right? If you continue playing with Division 1 teams, with Tier 1 teams, you're going to start getting those mistakes to a minimum. And HYDRA, bright future ahead of them. They might not make the major in this season, but I would not be surprised if they do so in the next one.
Yeah, because I do believe the HYDRA lineup, it's mostly young players. So, it is every game is a learning opportunity here. And yeah, HYDRA, I'm sure they've got something from this, but Team Spirit, like I say, they went the distance. They forced this game out. Something a little bit out of the box on the Collapse Earthshaker that had a lot of impact here as well in this game. And they were able to close out the series 2-1. But take nothing away from HYDRA because they forced it. They went blow for blow in this series, and they really did make Team Spirit sweat.
Yeah, for sure. HYDRA, they're an amazing team. They're looking really good with any kind of lineup. They can make things work, even when they're on the back foot. All 3 games, they looked good. All 3 games, they had a chance, right? And you can say in game number 1, Team Spirit did not. So HYDRA just little things decided the series. And considering that you're playing with arguably the best team in the region, or definitely the best team in the region, you can't really put Bad Boom there because they haven't been doing well in the majors, and Team Spirit has been consistent for 3 years now. That is a big thing for your confidence. So HYDRA, they know their worth right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put up a good fight against Bad Boom and Hellraisers in the continuation of the DPC.
Yeah, because that is the teams left for HYDRA to play here. It is going to be Bet Boom on the 26th. On the 25th, it's Hellraisers, and then on April 1st, it's going to be VP. And I think that's one of the the final week's games, close to that, and the second to final day. So HYDRA, if they can keep this momentum going, if they can keep that level of quality we've seen up against Team Spirit here, it's going to look the future is looking bright here for Team HYDRA. On the other front, that does put Team Spirit up there with Hellraisers in that first position. Both teams going 3-0. We've seen, it was a good showing for them. Hellraisers are going to be able to respond. That's another big match coming up on Thursday. It's going to be Bet Boom versus Hellraisers, which could, again, be one of those major place deciders. So that is going to be another exciting match coming up in the next couple of days. And stick around for it because I think it's going to be an amazing one. The quality that Hellraisers have shown with Ramsey stepping up in the carry position now as well, they're looking pretty darn scary.
Yeah, definitely. Though this is going to be their real first test. They did have a game against One Move, but we talked about One Move's inconsistency to win a series. So this is going to be their real first test because, Hellraisers so far, they've had pretty easy series against Darkside and Virtus Pro.
Yeah, and this is going to be it for the day, guys. I mean, it's been a pretty long one. Both series going 2-1, and every single team involved battling out. But we are going to be done for the day. So thank you for tuning in. Come back on Thursday for more Eastern European Dota. I promise you it's going to be a cracker. But for now, we are going to be saying goodbye, and we'll see you next time we go live. But for now, goodbye.